something the first time and you don't make it, when you go back to try again or try something new, that's not a failure. You know, you fail when you decide to throw in the towel and give up on yourself. But yeah, confidence for me is standing for your truth and always believing in the things that you say, believing in your story. That's what confidence really is to me. I always feel like my mom, when we spoke about confidence, she would say, you know, when you lie, people always catch up to your lies. And so when you speak the truth, you must always know that you will be confident because you know that it's your truth. You know that no one will try to catch you in that lie. And also, for me, confidence has actually come through reading, because it's expanded my knowledge about how I see the world. It's helped me formulate opinions, you know, about the world. So I think that's where mostly my confidence comes from when I speak, because I'm just like,
totally,
it's my opinion. And most of the time when you're offering your opinions, it's never wrong because it's what you think. If people are asking me about confidence, especially when it comes to pageants, is that when you walk in there, you speak your truth and you answer the questions. They never expect a right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer when they ask you those questions. It's about what you say, how you say it, and how you stand for it. So I think that's what confidence is to me. Always believing and standing for your truth. But there's so many ways we can define confidence. It's so crazy. Okay, we have a second question. Okay, this one's for me. So your final speech was so beautiful. Any tips on public speaking? Oh, I think it's more or less the same. My tips on public speaking is that research, first of all. You should always research, because when you are knowledgeable, it's not difficult to speak. I always find that whenever I get nervous to speak, it's because I don't know what the topic is about, or it's because I don't know what I'm talking about. Then I get nervous. But if I know what I'm talking about, then I will always be confident. My final answer when they ask me those questions, what do we think we should be teaching young girls? Why do I think I should be Miss Universe? Those are things that I believed in 100%, whether or not people in the arena agreed with me. That's what I believed in. And so that's why I was so confident in saying it, because I was knowledgeable about it. So I think that's how we build confidence. We build it by being ourselves, first of all, and practicing confidence in ourselves. You practice confidence in yourself, and I think from then on, you're able to achieve a lot of things. So that's how I achieved my public speaking. Again, people. You could learn through documentaries. It doesn't even have to be about reading, because other people are like, but I'm not a reader. What? Some people learn through documentaries. Some people learn through music. Some people learn through listening to stories. That's how you build your public speaking. Attach it to something that means something to you. And then be confident about it and learn. So, yeah. That's what I would say. For you, how? Because you're a really good speaker yourself. Actually,
thank you.
You really are. So how do you get that confidence? How did you become that speaker? Did you get any training for it? Is it something that comes natural?
Honestly, I think it of course it took a lot of practice, and I think the biggest lesson I learned for public speaking is just to throw away your ego. Because when you think about it, when you're on stage and you get nervous, you're not thinking about what you're saying and how it will affect other people, but you're thinking about, you know, what's going up on here, like how do I look, or do I sound weird when I'm talking, or is my voice okay, am I not standing straight enough? And there's a bunch of things that you could be thinking about when you're speaking that will make you nervous. And when you throw away that ego and you think about why you're talking right now, like what you want the other person to feel or know after you've done your speech or after you finish talking, I think that's like the biggest tip that I would give another person, is just forget about all those thoughts and just focus on how you want the audience to feel.
Yeah, also to listen. Listening is such an important skill, because sometimes I think we always listen to questions to rush to answer. Like, take your time. Don't listen to answer, listen to understand, and then answer. Because we're always in a rush in our heads, like, you want to sound perfect, I want to get in the 30 seconds. Listen, Because I feel like if you listen to what people are saying, you're actually able to respond to the best of your abilities. And also, like you said, let go of the ego and what are people going to think of me if I mess up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. And also, people are not trying to catch you out. I always say this. People think that judges are trying to catch you out. She's not smart. I'm going to show her she's not smart. That's not what judges are doing. They're just there to literally have a conversation with you. It's always
exactly.
Think about it as a conversation.
Yes. That is perfect advice. Yeah.
That is the best.
I always. Yeah. Every time I do a speech.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Think about it as a conversation, guys. Don't think about it as like I'm on the spot. Someone's just asking you your opinion. So what do you think about this and that? What do you think? And I believe in you guys. I believe that you are incredibly smart young men and women who are able to hold a conversation. That's just all it is. Okay. I have another. Tips for anyone competing on the Miss Universe stage.
I guess we spoke about some tips previously through our preparation.
Yeah, I think as we've been speaking, we've been giving a couple of tips.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest tip for anyone entering the competition is to know your story. Like, know yourself. Because it doesn't matter what people ask you, it will always come back to who you are. It will always come back to the core of who you are and everything that you believe in. So if you know yourself, if you have a purpose and you have a story, doesn't matter what people ask you, it will always come back to who you are. So, I mean, when people speak about authenticity, they're not being ridiculous. They're not being cliche. That's what it is. Like, you are just arriving as your true self. You know your story. You know your thing. Don't go in there blindsided. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't walk in there blindsided. Walk in there knowing who you are to the core. It's so important to know ourselves, because when we are so stable in who we are, we're able to make the right choices.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's my biggest tip.
I couldn't agree anymore. Especially during the interview, because, you know, the judges, they're not asking you about off topics. You know, they're not asking you about, I mean, of course, there'll be some random questions thrown in about world issues or something, but they mainly ask about you, because they want to know, you know, why is this girl joining Miss Universe? They want to know what makes you the next Miss Universe, basically.
Literally, no one's going to ask you who was the first man to walk on planet Earth. Nobody's going to ask you who is like the 1000th president of... No, it's about you.
Yeah.
It's about, because it's an interview for a job. I think that's what people think. Miss Universe is a job, and that is an interview, and they want to know if you're the best fit for the organization. And so it's always going to be about you and your opinions of the world. Obviously, you have to keep in mind about current issues that are happening in the world. You have to be knowledgeable about your surroundings, because when you win, you are going to be having these conversations and interviews. People are going to want to know, what do you think of this corona pandemic that's happening? It's something that you have to know. So my advice is always be knowledgeable about world issues. Not all of them, clearly, because you're not a robot, but at least like the big things that are happening during that time, you should know those things, so that when they ask you about your opinions about them, you are able to answer. Again, it's always going to be your opinion about those things, you know. So again, it's about you and what you can bring to the table. So anyone who's competing, don't be scared. When you walk into that interview room, they want to know about you. Again, it's a conversation. It's a conversation, because you know what, people make a mistake of walking in and just getting into interview mode. Hi, my name is Frederika, and I'm here to, I want to be Miss Universe because A, B, C, and D. Like, that's not, you're not a robot. It's a conversation. So I think that's the biggest tip that I would give. Be yourself and be ready. Yeah, let me see if people have any other questions. Do you have any questions for me, Fred?
I do. Actually, some Indonesian fans. I mean, everybody wants to know how Indonesia was for you, the most memorable moment you had in Indonesia, and when you're coming back.
When I'm coming back.
Well, after this coronavirus, of course.
Yes, I can't travel now. I I loved Indonesia. 2 of the times that I was there, I absolutely loved it. And it was both for different reasons. You know, the first time that I went there, it was obviously my first contact with the place. And I was like, oh my God, this place is beautiful, you know? And then I started meeting the people. And I think I started meeting more people when I came the second time around. So my first impression was, this is a beautiful place, beautiful scenery. It's like picture perfect is what it is. But then I think my second step and phase was meeting the people, because what I always say is, people already know Indonesia is beautiful. They've seen it on Google. They've seen it on every photo. But what
Instagram.
you know what I mean? What they might not know is the beauty of its people and the politeness of the people. And they're so hospitable, you know, because when I went there, I felt so much at home. I felt acceptance and so much love from the people. So I loved it. I loved Indonesia, and I would love to come back again as soon as this ends and as soon as somebody invites me back.
I'll invite you. We'll have a Bali girls trip.
Of course. Bali girls trip. I love that. Somebody asked how you deal with haters, Freddie. How do you deal with haters? Like people just always constantly being there, telling you horrible things.
Yeah, I dealt with a lot of that throughout my career and throughout being Miss Indonesia a lot, definitely. I mean, there was a lot of criticism of me being so young and entering the competition, me being half Indonesian, of course, and, you know, language skills and my Bahasa skills, because I did speak with a foreign accent. And yeah, there were people judging me what makes this girl think that she could be Miss Indonesia. So I had to deal with a lot of criticism at the very beginning of my pageant career. And I think one of the things that really stopped me from letting those haters get into my mind was just understanding that these haters have never met you in person. They don't know anything about you, and they only know what you show on social media, and it's such a small amount. I mean, being public figures, of course, like we always get judged on what we show on social media. If one thing we do that's bad, we post it on social media and everyone judges it. I guess that, you know, people would think that we're horrible people if everything that we did wrong was published on social media. And I guess that's one thing that we have to triumph, is that these haters don't know anything about you. You should just trust yourself. Their judgment does not change anything you do in your life. They won't change anything you do in the future. So just believe the people that you love and accept the love that you have with your closest family and friends, because that is honestly enough. And I would be telling a lie if sometimes the haters didn't bother me. I mean, there were times that they really did affect me, that, you know, comments not just about me, but comments about my family and my mother and my father, like it would definitely affect me and hit me in the deepest way they could. Because, you know, it's normal for a daughter to feel hurt when their mother is being attacked, or for the other way around. Like, how would it make you feel if your mother saw, like, the negative comments that were spoken about you from people that don't even know you? Like, it does hurt, and a lot of people suffer from it. And you just have to know that you're not alone. And those comments, honestly, they don't change anything with your life, and you just have to stop.
They really don't. I mean, for me, literally everything you've just said, spot on. It's so crazy because, like you said, one, these people don't know you. And sometimes I'm like, if you people would meet these people in person, you would really know that they're such lovely people and how amazing they are, and you wouldn't want to attack them online.
I know.
Because you don't know them. And secondly, I think how I always looked at this from my side is, these are people who were rooting for somebody else. They were rooting for their country. They were rooting for another girl. And so the minute I won, it meant that their person didn't win. And so it's coming from a hurtful place from them. They are hurt, and maybe this is how they are reacting, and so that's why they're deciding to send all those hateful messages. Again, it has absolutely nothing to do with me. and who I am.
Yeah.
It's a them problem. It's them not being able to process that